shown this problem. -6 plus 3. I do know negative symbols. But I don't know how to add. I'm from no math land. Please, somebody, go to the board.
Hey, what's your name?
And help me learn. Uga Wabadada. Anyways, doesn't matter what my name is. Someone please help me add this problem. Graydon, please help me add this problem. Don't worry, you go up to the board, other people can help you teach.
Okay.
Please help me with this thing called math. Please go to more to the left, more to the left.
More to the left.
More to the
What are
left.
you making?
I'm making math because he told me to teach him math.
Okay, so help me with this problem.
Okay.
Write nice though.
I'll try my best.
You can't really write nice.
He's left-handed.
I'm left-handed.
Is there no excuse? Yeah?
No, it couldn't.
Writing big.
Okay, so we have a -6 and a pi add 3. How does these work?
Use a number line.
Yes.
Okay, so this number line.
Number line.
I should make number line too.
You should make a number line.
Okay. Is this a good line?
You have to have an origin on that line, which is 0 in the middle of the line.
So 0 is called origin.
Correct. It's like an O for origin.
Origin.
I remember that.
Is this how you spell?
Not really.
Yes.
Origin.
I think so.
Yes. Okay. So 0 origin.
And
What's so special about the origin?
it separates the positives from the negatives on a number line. Like over here, the positives.
These numbers I know. Positive. Positive.
I spelled positive wrong?
Negative.
I spelled negative wrong?
Negative.
It's an A.
Where's the A?
Right there.
Jeez, guys.
Negative.
So on
Are you
this,
sure you? Okay.
I think I'm right.
Did I spell it right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Here's an I. That's a T.
What happened to that?
Positive. Okay. So you're making little dash marks.
Correct. That represents a middle number. Each. Oh, there's an integer in each.
What is an integer?
Uh-oh.
Class A, help me, integer.
Should I first?
I'm the only one who doesn't know.
What is an integer?
I don't know.
I don't get it. Oh, so 0 is an integer?
Yes.
No.
Yes, either negative, 0, positive,
No.
Some are saying no, some are saying yes. So confusing.
No. Because 0 is neither negative or positive.
So 0 is not an integer.
It
Yes,
is.
it is. I don't
Oh,
know.
It
It
is.
might.
It's a very special integer.
Oh my goodness, checker.
what are integers made up of?
Negative, positive, 0,
Hold up,
and
okay.
0.
Okay. Whoa, what do we got here? So you're labeling them each one?
Correct.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why does it go backwards?
Because here's 0. If you add 1, there's 1. If you add 2, there's 2. If you add 3, there's 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, I got that. What about this way? Shouldn't I be going the same way?
If you subtract, then you get less than 0. Negative 1. Negative 2. So it's
Okay, so there's me number line. Now what?
Then you mark.
So I mark the second, I mark them both?
I think so.
You're teaching me you don't know? Can we get some help?
What?
Erase the 3
What?
and
No.
then -6.
Negative 6 first.
So I put a dot, what, do I call it a dot?
No.
Plot of points.
You were plotting.
Is it a point or a plot?
A plot of points. We were plotting the points on.
Ah, so this action of putting a point down is called plotting. Got it. So my point's on -6.
Okay, great, and then you add 3 to the -6. So go 3.
No.
So you're going positive.
So that's the -6 and add 3.
1, 2, 3. -6.
Negative 6 plus 3.
Yes.
So we would go
So since
1,
you're
2,
adding
3. Positive 3.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we had to show it for him. Do the teacher. Scoot along. 1, 2, 3. And then put it on -3. He's from.
Okay, I have a lot of talking, really confused. Start over. Great. What do I, no, not all the way. I got the point.
So then you add 3 to the -6. 1, 2, 3, and you got -3.
Okay, so 3, this way. I can add. Okay. Okay. I happy guy. I am happy guy. So, I also had this problem. Okay. I try to do it like you do. Okay. Don't do it on the board. I try to do it first. Okay. The 7. Okay. Okay. So my number line. Nice and straight. Pretty as can be. The origin. And correct me if I'm wrong, Kennedy. The origin separates the positive from the negative, correct? Can I hear you?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. So now I put my number. Does it really matter how many numbers? Do I keep going or I stop?
That was forever.
It goes, oh, dear Lord. Going and going and going.
No, the arrow means it goes forever.
Oh, why'd you tell me this early? So there, and then I go this direction. Okay. So I start with first number, is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is number 5, okay? And I add 7. I go right.
No,
1,
you go
2. Whoa. Right up here, you said move to the right.
Yeah.
If it's a positive, move to the negative. If it's negative, to the left.
If this is positive, I move to right. If this is negative, I move to left.
Yes, the second number.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so this number, and
Yeah.
then I move, so this is 2 to the left, this negative 2, is that my answer?
Yes.
Yay!
Holy moly! I see, this is nice. But, too long, I need another one. killed. I need other way. Thank you, graders. Please erase and sit down. There's got to be another way. There has to be another way. Besides this number line. Good job. I applaud it. It's difficult, isn't it? In order, you have to be able, you got to know what you're doing, and you have to speak it clearly. There's so many ways that you could just verbally say something wrong that could really mess somebody up. Okay? So you have to be, when you're given instructions like this, okay, you have to be clear about what you're saying. Alright? So, this is kind of going with our notes. So if you've been writing this down, that's fine. This is what you definitely need to write down. Okay? This is called our absolute value method. How do you spell method? I'm sorry.
M-E-T-H-O-D.
There's no A.
No.
It's not meathead. Meathod.
M-E-T.
Alright. So, how many different cases are there going to be? When you're adding numbers, how many different case scenarios are there going to be?
Many.
2.
What?
What? So there's going to be, they're either going to have the same sign or opposite signs, correct?
Correct.
Okay? So let's talk about both values have same sign. Both values have same sign. You guys did that a lot quicker than the other class, by the way. Of course, I was a little more rambunctious in the first class. Okay? Both have values at the same sign. So what does that mean? Fitchco, what does it mean? Give me, like, if I were to put, like, an example of same sign, what does that mean?
Like the same sign of the numbers, like
Yeah.
positive or negative.
So what does it mean if two numbers have the same sign?
They have the same sign, like
What? So give me the two cases.
like 9 and 8.
They both have what?
Positive.
Positive and
Positive.
positive. What's my other scenario?
Negative.
Negative and negative. Okay? Positive and positive, negative and negative, right? So say I had this problem. I had -3 plus a -4. And they put them in parentheses just so it keeps to show you that it's a -4 or a -3. That's why the parentheses are there. Okay? So, going back to what we did up here. It's kind of the same method. Asa, what did we do up here in this first step? So we took the absolute value of both those values, right? So guess what we're going to do here? We're going to take the absolute value of both numbers. Okay? So, what's the absolute value of 3? Every -3, go.
3.
Man, act like you don't want to be here. What's the absolute value of -4?
4.
Woohoo! Tuesday. Right?
Yeah.
Where's my tutor?
2.
So, when they are the same, we add. You can't see what I'm writing. When they are the same, we add. Okay? Focus. Yeah, light. Light on.
No.
Below.
What?
Oh.
They are.
There you go. That probably made no difference. We add. Now, when we add, you can add it the way it is. 3 plus 4. Okay? Well, what's 3 plus 4? Can we all do that? Yeah. This is something I think you should know. This is something I wouldn't have to say, well, use your number line to show me how to add 3 plus 7. No, I know you get that. Okay? Well, how do we determine the sign? Well, what do they both have? So guess what their final answer is going to be? Negative. Keep the sign of both values. Keep the sign of both values. Well, that just so happens to be a negative. So draw my little arrow. Okay? Keep the sign of both values. Alright? Well, what's my other situation? Is this situation clear on how you should do this? The only time you need to use absolute value, okay, I'm just kind of clearing this up. The only time you need to use absolute value when they have the same sign is for what type of numbers? Negatives. If they're both positive, do I need you to use the absolute value sign? No. Okay? So, moving on. What's my next situation? Logan, what's my next situation?
3 plus 4. Positive.
What?
I
don't think it's. What was our first situation we were working with? Both values have the same sign. So what do you think the situation is going to be next? They have different signs. Thank you. Good. Numbers have different signs. So, what's my examples for these? Keelan, what would be my examples if I were to put them in parentheses? Positive and negative with such enthusiasm. Negative and positive. Right? So we can go back and use one of these examples we did. We could go back and use our -6. Actually, 5 plus -7. Let's do that one. All right, 5 plus -7, right? So, what do I do? Becca, what do I do? Absolute values around both. Okay? Absolute value of 5 is? The absolute value of -7 is? Can absolute ever be negative? Why not?
That's always positive.
Why?
Distance is always
You need to know. You need to know. You can't just rely on it's always positive. You need to know. Why is absolute value always positive? Because there's no such thing as a negative distance. Absolute value measures the distance. No such thing as negative distance. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes.
All right. Now, what do? Do we add again? We do what? We subtract. We subtract, but do I do 5 minus 7? No, we take the smaller away from the larger. So that means we put the larger out front, we subtract the smaller, we get dose, 2. Right? Well, what's our sign? Why is it negative, Jordan?
Because 7 is bigger number.
Okay, which 7 are you talking about? The -7 or the +7? So you look at the absolute value, right? You look at the larger absolute value, correct? You look at the larger absolute value, correct?
Yes.
And then, whatever its original sign was, that's what you use. So, use the larger absolute values original sign. Use the larger absolute values, original sign. Okay? Good. Righteous. So let's try another example. Say we got this mean green machine. 7 plus -4 plus -2 plus 5. What are we doing with that expression? What's our terminology? We're solving?
Adding it all.
We're evaluating. Okay? When you have a mathematical expression, you're evaluating. Okay? And how do we evaluate? We use order of operations. So, new guy.
Yeah.
What comes first in order of operations?
Usually what's in the parentheses.
Usually what's in the parentheses. So we take a look at the parentheses.
Yeah.
Is there anything we can do inside of them?
No.
No, so we move on.
Go left to right, because all you have is addition.
Okay, so after parentheses comes exponents, multiplication, then division. There's none of that in there. So I move to addition. And how do we have to do it, new guy?
Left to right.
Left to right. So do I start adding, do I do all 4 numbers? Do I do the absolute value of all 4 of them, all 3 of them? Ladies and gents, do I do the absolute value of all of them? What do you think? Let's go. Yes?
Yeah.
Your answer's 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give you that much.
Why? Why would I do them all?
Or I guess you can only do the negatives if you want to.
When we had a regular problem, when we did 3 plus 6 minus 2. Okay? When we did that problem, did we add them all at once? How do we do it?
You go 3
Left to
plus
right.
6 minus 2.
So we do 3 plus 6 first, right? So we do every how many values?
2.
So who are we putting absolute values first? 7 and -4. Okay? First off, same sign, different sign.
Different.
Different signs. Okay? Absolute value of 7 is what? Absolute value of -4 is what?
4.
Since it's different, since the signs are different in the original, do we add or do we subtract? Subtract. Signs are different, we subtract. What's 7 minus 4? Okay? Now, what's my indicator for sign? So who's the larger absolute value? 7. And 7's original is what? Positive. So what's this 3? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I bring down the next part. I take the absolute value. 3 and 2. Same sign, different sign. So I add, right? Subtract. 3 minus 2 is what? 1. What's my sign? Positive. Why? Because the larger absolute value is 3. What's its original sign? Positive. And then I have my last one, 1 plus 5. Do I need to do any absolute values here? No, because we all know how to do that. Okay? So, this is how you show your work. Okay? This is how you show your work. This is the, I'm sure a lot of you could probably do this in your head. I bet that's how a lot of you guys did your homework, right? Okay? This is what's actually going on in your head. Whether you know it or not, this is what's happening. Okay? So, that is it.
14 plus -11.
Use our new method. Okay? So, what's our first step when we're adding these?
Not parentheses around the negative 11. Then absolute value. Okay, absolute value 14. 14. Absolute value of negative 11. 11. Now, same sign or different sign? Different. So do we add or do we subtract? Subtract. Very good. Well, the larger minus the smaller, so isn't that set up for us already? That's good. It's perfect. 14 minus 11 is 3. We can do that. Now, we go back. We got to determine what the sign is. Is it positive or is it negative? Positive, because the larger absolute value was 14. Its original was positive. Positive 3. That help? Okay. And then 46.
Negative 6 plus negative 3 plus 4.
Same thing. We got to use your absolute value problems. Okay? Now, do I do all of these in my absolute value? Do I do all these in my absolute value?
Not at once.
Do I do all of them in my absolute value?
Not at once.
No, let's go. Line it up. Let's go. So I do my first two. I really don't care. Negative 6 and negative 3. What's the absolute value of negative 6? 6. What does absolute value mean again? The distance from the origin. And what is the purpose of the origin? Separate the negative and positive numbers. Why do you think we keep going over this? Because I want you to know the purpose behind it. Okay? Good. So, it's 6. Negative 6 is 6 away from the origin. My marker is dying. What's the absolute value of negative 3? Asa? 3. It's 3 away from the origin. Now, same sign, different sign. So Trey, if they're the same, what do? We add them. And can we add 6 plus 3?
Yes.
You bet. It's 9. So I bring down the 4. Can we do 9 plus 4?
Yeah.
Not now.
What is 9 plus 4? So my final answer is 13.
No.
Why isn't it 13? What is wrong with what I did? Why do I need a negative sign with this 9? What's the purpose of that negative sign for the 9? Kennedy? Because when we did these, remember, when you add the same sign, you keep that sign, correct? Yes? Okay, then say yes. So now I gotta erase this mess, pooper scoopers. Who do I use again? Absolute value! Woo! Yes! Negative 9. Absolute value of 4. What's the absolute value of negative 9? 9. Absolute value of 4? 4. Okay, now, same sign, different sign.
Different.
So what operation do we use for different signs? Subtraction. 9 minus 4, can we do that?
5.
Now, is it positive or is it negative?
Negative.
Why? Why is it negative, Rollins?
Because the 9 was bigger than 4.
So we go back to the absolute value. Who's larger?
Negative 9.
The 9 is. Then we go back to its original. And it was negative. There's the negative. Okay? Good? Clears things up? Love what we do? I do. Oh, that was close. Not my sweater vest. It's somewhere down there. Got it?
Got it, yep.
All right. How did the word problems go?
They were hard.
They had a lot of numbers.
They were easy.
Okay, when you have lots of big numbers like that, you can't use a calculator. Let's talk about profit. What does it mean to be a profit?
Gain money.
The money left over when everything's all said and done.
Okay, when you're calculating profit as a business, in any business you have two types of money situations. You have revenue and you have expense. Revenue is what you make. Expense is what you pay. So, say I work at, I have a sports shop, like Shields. I own Shields, I wish. Where does my revenue come in from? From the things I sell. What does my expenses go to?
Bills.
Well, buying those products to sell them, that's one.
Buildings.
Building the building.
Maintenance,
Work.
employees, advertising, taxes, bills.
Air conditioning.
Okay? So when you make a profit, what has to be true about revenue versus expense? Revenue has to be higher. What if my expense is higher than my revenue? We call that a loss. So profit, loss. Profit, loss. Okay?